Greetings to the Fierce Feminine Frequency, and today we tap into a big question. Are wounded men harming us as women, our femininity, our thriving, our soul path? And straightforward, the answer is yes, okay? So I really want you, this episode is for you, like for all my ladies, for all my lionesses and leonas out there, to recognize these wounded men. Sometimes you don't even know. Like we all know narcissists and gaslighting, but how can you recognize also just minor things that you will never give up on yourself? You will always stay true to yourself. And I want you to glow and thrive and roar and not be suppressed by a guy with a fragile ego. So let's get into this, okay? How can you recognize wounded men which will harm you? Number one is emotional unavailability and emotional detachment. So they are not in tune with their emotions. They don't even know how to recognize their own emotions, how to define their emotions. So their EQ, their emotional intelligence, is kind of low. That's why they suppress it, which, well, actually just fuels the volcano mode, I call it like that. And it brings up outbursts at some point when you trigger him, and mostly those men are very easily triggered, okay? So emotionally unavailable, when he's just really not, this is all closed, this is ice, when he's an ice block. Cool. Number two, oh my god, we all know that, power plays. When he's doing these power plays, like who's the better one, like when he likes to compare things, who makes more money, who's like, god, I could tell you hundreds of stories about that, and I'm like, what is your problem? Also from my clients, sometimes, you know, I'm a coach and I should be judgmental free and just listen to them. And sometimes my facial expression, I'm a Leo as well, so my facial expression is kind of problematic when it's about being judgmental free in some situations. I'm like, really? This is what he said? This is what he did? Okay, so power plays. You can tell that there is something not going quite well with his ego, with his confidence. So if he needs power plays, he's kind of competing with you. This disclaimer can be because he's super toxic masculine, okay, and a wounded man. This can, but this can also be that the reason for that is also that you might be totally in your masculine energy and he sees you as the man in the relationship. That's another thing, okay? But just that it said, power plays, never a good thing. We go into the partnerships of the new era, and it is definitely not about power plays, emotional availability, unavailability, and just fucking each other up and delaying growth. That's, by the way, another point. Corn addiction. If he's addicted to those films and needs them in order to keep his testosterone level high, that's a deep wound. That's a deep wound. No. And he will definitely, 100% for sure, suffer from a lack of creativity, from a lack or fear of intimacy. That's wild, by the way. And fear of performance, like he's under performance pressure. They see those videos, corns, and then they are like, yeah, I can do that better. That's not even the point, because sex with your partner should not be about who's better and faster and quicker and harder. It's not. This is also not new partnership. Not the partnership of the new era, okay? It's about fusion. So, corn addiction, skipping immediately. Then, a fragile ego is how you can identify a wounded man. If his ego is needing validation, is needing attention, and if he's not getting that, it doesn't matter if he's not getting it from you or from the outside world, from his friends, from his family, and his ego is very fragile. So he needs validation, and he will always do everything in order to get that validation. That's wounded man. That's also the cheaters. That's the ones texting with several girls. That's the ones sliding into DMs just so, will this girl write back? You see, I have a hard time telling you these things. Oh my God. Okay, let's continue. So fragile ego, problematic. Then we have projection and blame. If he's projecting his own insecurities, by the way, narcissism as well, okay? That's a narcissism flag, not just a red flag, a red narcissism flag, because that's what narcissists do. They check out your emotional insecurities and manipulate you on that level, on that emotional level, because they know that this is our weak point, because we are empaths and we are emotional and intuitive, and we can only be truly with high intuition and follow our intuition if we feel our emotions. So narcissists know that, wounded men sense that as well, and very often use that against us, for sure. Otherwise they wouldn't be wounded men but healed. So basically, projection, bad thing. And also, if he blames you for everything, if he blames you for mistakes, if he blames you for your past, if he blames you for how you do certain things, although you did them before you, if he blames you or shames you or makes you feel guilty, how you dress, how you act, how you run your business, how things that did not went right, like I even one time I met a guy and I told him something really, really intimate about my family, and in a fight he used that against me. So this is like toxic level 100. If he's doing that, that's also projection, that's blame, that's gaslighting, by the way. That's all of the above, basically. So if he projects his own insecurities on you, tries to blame you for things that are minor, even if they're major, that's called gaslighting. Yeah. So that's also how you recognize wounded man. Another one we have is the fear of abandonment. If he has a fear of abandonment, okay, I literally took notes because this is so much. If he is having this fear of abandonment, then he will be jealous, he will be clingy, he will be possessive or hyper over possessive. He will be harming you with this possessiveness, with this jealousy, and with this clinginess, because he can't let you go, and he thinks if he cages you, then you stay. And unfortunately, this worked for way too long, but now we're in the era. Check out the last episode, okay, about the new era of singles and the warrior wound. So I'm explaining that we are now in the era where we literally have the same possibilities and can use our abilities, can use our gifts, can do something with it, can create businesses. We're no longer dependent on a man. If we are in a relationship nowadays, then it's consciously choice of us. And not because we need to, because we all know how to make money up by ourselves and create a soul business. If you don't, reach out to me, okay? I love to be a coach on that one. Or if you want to manifest your dream life, this is my son of genius. So, or if you want to get rid of a toxic guy, then you can also reach out to me. So basically, if he has the fear of abandonment, he will project also this on you and make you feel caged, which is cracking you up. But we come to how are wounded men harming you. We talk about that in a sec. Another thing how you can recognize wounded man is toxic coping mechanisms. I'm not just talking about fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. I'm literally talking about passive aggressive behavior, but also like aggressive behavior, if he's violent, if he's getting violent, not just physically violent, that's crazy, but also here violent, also like if he's just verbally violent, that's already harmful, which gaslighting is a way of verbal violence, by the way. So, or even if he's tapping into that macho mode, it's like, I'm better anyways than anyone. Okay, cool. Okay, so wounded men actually have a very crazy problem with their masculinity, with showing emotions, because they got raised, or they are conditioned to not show emotions, to be the man, to be better than a woman, like all these old conditions, all that conditioning that's coming through in wounded men, until they heal it, and then they're healed man, and then they're great leaders, and not leaders by possessing someone, not leaders by suppressing the woman, but leading through presence. That is healed masculinity. So how can a wounded man harm you? You might think, yeah, okay, I can deal with that, but trust me, I think we all dated, or have, the worst case scenario, have been together with, have children with, God, if, sorry if this is you, or you're married to one of these wounded men, divorce swinging, you know that these guys, they are draining your energy AF. You feel unmotivated, you are constantly distracted, you cannot focus because he's taking up all the space in your head, which, by the way, makes you less successful. A wounded man is hyper dangerous for especially old ancient souls with spiritual gifts. Oh my God, you're not here to obey and do the same mistakes all your whole lineage did. You're here to break the cycle and not be drained by a guy who has a fragile ego and does not know how to cope with his emotions and feelings and tough situations. That's the poorest leadership of all, by the way. So wounded men are literally harming you because they drain your energy. They absolutely kill your self-worth and confidence because you constantly doubt and question yourself. And that, again, distracts you from doing your thing, from your soul path. And it's blocking your authentic expression because since you're doubting yourself and then you don't feel confident enough, so you don't express yourself, you literally lose your glow. It drains your energy, you lose your glow. You cannot express yourself anymore because you're actually tiptoeing around him, hoping he's not bursting, that has no outbursts, emotional outbursts, and is becoming aggressive just because you said something wrong, looked the wrong way, whatever, wore the wrong shirt. So this is constantly in your head. So a wounded man is actually the most dangerous thing out there because it drains your energy. It keeps you from going and walking your soul path, from expressing your true self and soul gifts, from being successful and breaking the cycle. Your whole lineage actually awaits you to break. I know, that's tough. He's also triggering or reinforcing old patterns that you might have overcome and healed already, and it comes back because you tune onto that low frequency of him. All right? That does not mean you didn't heal it. This is just cell memory, and it's all frequency and embodiment. So it's still in your body somehow. That's why somatic release is so important. And if you lower that frequency, because wounded men have a very low frequency, under 200 for sure, that's not cool down there, okay? And you're already somewhere there, and you lower your frequency, literally you drain your energy, then you are on that frequency that attracts even anger, problems, aggression, more problems, jealousy, and those old patterns that you let go of a long time ago, actually. So most of them make you overstep your boundaries, which make especially women hate themselves, which is not great for your self-worth, neither for your self-confidence, neither for your self-love. So self-care is down the basement as well. It's just getting worse, trust me. And that's the worst part of all, and that's why they are the most harmful ever out there. Wounded men in your life delay your soul growth, your soul evolution, your using your soul gifts, doing something with your soul gifts, helping others with your soul gifts because you don't dare to trust yourself anymore, because confidence down, self-worth down, self-care down, self-love down, energy down, motivation down. Okay, so in the moment you block that energy, that wounded masculinity, you can rise and you can use your soul gifts. You can be on track with your soul path and help other women do the same. So this is a reminder that you don't want the wounded man by your side. Please heal the wound of abandonment within you if you think you need a man in order to be fulfilled. You are a goddess. You are a fierce lioness goddess. What else is there to say? What else is there to say? And sometimes, and that's the beautiful part, the most beautiful part, if you say no to these guys, you help them heal and not repeat the pattern of suppressing women. Okay, I really had to get that off my chest. I hope I could help you with that, and have a beautiful week ahead. Sending love, and break up with the toxic ones, all right? And if you cannot do it alone, I'm here for you. I can be your coach, no problem. Or find a therapist, whatever you need, but get rid of the draining energy that keeps you from walking your soul path and becoming filthy rich AF. Because that's what happens when you walk your soul path, when you follow your spirit guides towards that path. I'm sending you all the best. Stay on the fierce feminine frequency. That's a very high frequency. We are on the frequency of abundance. We're the frequency of self-fulfillment. And I'm so happy that you're here and that you watch this till the end. And leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Kisses.